أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه وليكتب بينكم كاتب بالعدل ولا يأب كاتب أن يكتب كما علمه الله فليكتب وليملل الذي عليه الحق وليتق الله ربه ولا يبخس منه شيئا فإن كان الذي عليه الحق سفيها أو ضعيفا أو لا يستطيع أن يمل هو فليملل وليه بالعدل واستشهدوا شهيدين من رجالكم فإن لم يكونا رجلين فرجل وامرأتان ممن ترضون من الشهداء أن تضل إحداهما فتذكر إحداهما الأخرى ولا يأبى الشهداء إذا ما دعوا ولا تسأموا أن تكتبوه صغيرا أو كبيرا إلى أجله ذلكم أقسط عند الله وأقوم للشهادة وأدنى ألا ترتابوا إلا أن تكون تجارة حاضرة تديرونها بينكم فليس عليكم جناح ألا تكتبوها وأشهدوا إذا تبايعتم ولا يضار كاتب ولا شهيد وإن تفعلوا فإنه فسوق بكم واتقوا الله ويعلمكم الله والله بكل شيء عليم.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي من علينا بالإسلام والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأولين والآخرين سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to us. He is giving us an injunction, an instruction here. He called the believers. He said, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, O you who believe, إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى فَاكْتُبُوهُ. If you incur debt among you to a specific time, write it down. If you make transaction between you, a transaction of debt, make it in a written form in order to avoid confusion and argument. In this ayah, you can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding the believers to write debt between them. And some ulama, like the Zahiris, like the Dawud al-Zahiri and Ibn Hazm and Co., they take the amr, because Allah said, Faktubu is amr. So to them, the amr is obligatory. So to them, if you make transaction of debt between you and somebody and you didn't put it in a written form, you have breached the agreement, the rule that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made. And they make that agreement invalid, according to them. But, if you look the ayah, you can see that this is Amr bil Irshad. It's not obligatory. If you read the sequence of the ayah, there is a place Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I think he said, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ وَلَمْ تَجِدُوا كَاتِبًا فَرِهَانٌ مَقْبُودًا. That Allah said, if you are on journey and you didn't get somebody the way to write, then you have to make the dain with collateral. You have to deposit something before they give you the debt. And the ulama, all they believe that rahan is not obligatory. It's jais. It's not something that is obligatory. So something that is not obligatory cannot replace something that is obligatory. So here you can understand that the kitabatul dayn wal ishhad is not wajib, but it's mandu. You know, because the Prophet ﷺ made a lot of transactions without writing it down. And inshallah we'll talk about it. And Allah said here, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ, if you incur debt among you, إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى, to a specific period of time. Maybe give me 1,000 euro, I'll give you in 1 month time. You know, they said I've mentioned a time, إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, بَيْنَكُمْ, He said, فَاكْتُبُوهُ, you have to write it down. وَلْيَكْتُبْ كَاتِبٌ بَيْنَكُمْ وَلْيَكْتُبْ بَيْنَكُمْ كَاتِبٌ بِالْعَدْلِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Katibun, which is the fa'il, which is the subject of the sentence, scribe, somebody who knows how to write, okay, should take the responsibility of writing, and he should write bil-adl, with fairness, with justice. He don't have to be partial in his writing. That is, the person that will take the responsibility of writing should be a person that is a scribe, that know how to write. That his letters can be seen very clearly, should in case there is problem we want to read, we will not find any problem in reading. Okay? And it should be written in a very good form that we will understand, without making partial, without supporting the person who gives the debt and the person who is taking it. That's why it's a bil-adl, with fairness. وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَنْ يَكْتُبْ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ. A scribe shouldn't refuse to write. If he is pleaded to come and write, he shouldn't refuse, just like the way Allah gave him the opportunity to teach him to write. Because some people, Allah even didn't give them the hand that they can use to write. But you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has given you the hand, and also He has made it easy for you to know how to write. So if we request from you to come and write something for us, you have to do it. You don't have to refuse. وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ. You don't have to refuse. You don't have to refuse to write, just like the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also taught him. فَلْيَكْتُبْ وَلْيُمْلِلِ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْحَقِّ. Let the indebtor, or let the debtor write. فَلْيَكْتُبْ. The debtor should write. If the debtor don't know how to write, then فَلْيُمْلِلِ, he has to dictate. If you are coming to take debt from me, if I'm the one who is going to give you the money, it is recommended you yourself, you write it down. I take this amount of money from this man. Write it with your hand. After the day I sign it, you sign. Because we can use that one as an evidence against you. But me, the one that I'm going to give you the money, if I write it down, someplace I can feel myself in the writing. Am I right? But if you are the one who is going to take the money, if you are going to write it yourself, then because what you write, we will use it against you. Like if you go to the court, they used to say anything that you will say can be used against you in the court of law. We used to say it today. And that's what Quran said, the person who is taking the debt, he has to write. And if you don't know how to write, then you have to dictate. The debtor, the one who is taking the money, if you don't know how to write, then we'll find somebody who is going to write. Then the person who is taking the money, has to dictate. He has to say, write me, Najm, I take this money from Ibrahim. That's it. I have to say. Not the person who is going to give the money has to say that I, Ibrahim, am giving this money to Issa. You see how Quran is making justice. You, the person, the debtor, the person who is taking the money, he has to, if you don't know how to write, then he has to dictate for the scribe to write. And that's why he says, فَلْيَكْتُبْ. That is, he should write if he can. But if he cannot write, وَلْيُمْلِلْ. That is, you can see that we have two verbs here. We have two fi'l. فَلْيَكْتُبْ وَلْيُمْلِلْ. But they have the same fa'il. The fa'il is الَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْحَقِّ. The one who is the debtor, who is taking the money. Allahu Akbar, وَلْيَتَّقِي رَبَّهُ. He should fear Allah and say the truth. Is he the one writing? Maybe the person giving 100, he should write 100. You don't have to write 80 or 70. Maybe especially if the person don't know how to read. You can borrow money from somebody who knows how to read. You know? And you have to fear Allah and write exactly وَلَا يَبْخَسْ مِنْهُ شَيْئًا. He don't have to diminish. He don't have to reduce anything from the quantity of amount money that he's going to take. If it is 100, he should write 100. 50, he should write 50. فَإِنْ كَانَ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْحَقُّ سَفِيهًا. But should in case the indebtor is mentally deficient, the person who is taking the money, he is mentally deficient. He is not sound in mind. He cannot write. Then the Quran said, فَلْيُمْلِلْ وَلِيُّهُ بِالْعَدْلِ. Then his caretaker, his guardian, okay, should dictate for the writer to write, but with justice, with fairness. Am I clear? وَاسْتَشْهِدُوا شَهِيدَيْنِ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ. You have to call to witness 2 men among you to witness the deal, the transaction. After writing it down, then 2 witnesses. You write their name, they come and sign. You know, فَاكْتُبُوا وَلْيَشْهَدُوا is 2 commands. Write and witness. You can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding us to write transactions and also make witness in them in order to prevent argument and problem in future payment. Some ulama, they take these things to be obligatory, as I said, like the Zahiri. But if you look at ayah in front where Allah says, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ وَلَمْ تَجِدُوا كَاتِبًا فَذَهَابٌ مَقْبُولًا. If you were on journey and you didn't get someone who read, then you have to put collateral. If you look this one, then you will know that it's not obligatory. وَالرِّهَانْ لَا يَجِبْ إِجْمَاعًا. All the ulama, they are consensus that collateral to deposit something and take debt is not obligatory. Okay? Because you know, even in the ayah, there's where Allah says, فَإِنْ أَمِنَ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا فَلْيُؤَدِّ الَّذِي تُؤْمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ وَلْيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ رَبَّهُ. If you trust each other, if there is trust between you and no need of writing, no need of transaction. And that is why sometimes a brother of mine, he's here, Mujahid, he said, he saw a sheikh who said, if you give him debt and you didn't write it down, he will not pay. Which is wrong. You have to pay. Because Quran says, فَإِنْ أَمِنَ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا. If you trust, if there is trust, فَلْيُؤَدِّ الَّذِي تُؤْمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ وَلْيَتَّقِ اللَّهَ رَبَّهُ. The one that the trust is there, the money has been given to you, fear Allah and return the money. Don't say because we didn't write it down, because Allah said فَاكْتُبُوهُ وَاشْهَدُوهُ. So it is obligatory to write, so if we didn't write, I'm not going to pay. You pay it Qiyamah. Qiyamah, you pay it. In the judgment day, you pay it. Okay? For that place, there's no money to pay with it. So maybe the small ajr you have, it can be taken and then settle that with it. Because of that, as I said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made a lot of transactions without writing it down. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according to Aisha, this hadith in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam died, and his ama was with a Jew just because of food that he borrowed from him. He borrowed a barley from the Jew, and then he put his ama as a collateral. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at the same time, there is a transaction that he did. He writes, it was written in a form. And sometimes too, he makes some transaction, he didn't write it. You understand? So this shows that it's not obligatory. There's a transactions that he did, he wrote it down, he made the right. And some too he did, he didn't write. For example, there is a transaction, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this thing was narrated, I think, by Ibn Arabi al-Maliki, and also Imam Qurtubi brought it in his Tafsir, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said something to somebody and he wrote it down. And the text of the thing that he wrote, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, هذا ما اشترى الأعداء الخارج. However, من محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اشترى منه عبدا أو أما ولا غائرة ولا خبيثة بيع المسلم للمسلم. That the Prophet wrote that this is what Ada bin Khalid bin Hawada, he bought from the Prophet, a slave. And the slave is a very good slave, it's not a slave. Wala gha'ira means a slave that is obedient, that will not run away, that will not cheat his master, you know, and without any fault with the slave. And this is a trade between a Muslim to his brother Muslim. The Prophet made a transaction, he wrote it down. And at the same time, he made a transaction, he didn't write it down. Sometime the Prophet ﷺ went to the market and he saw a horse. He saw an Arab man holding a horse he wanted to sell. And the Prophet said, I'll buy this horse. And then the man told him the price. They settled, and the Prophet said, okay, I've bought it. But the Prophet didn't give him the money. So he rushed to go and bring the money. The Prophet told the Arab man, I've bought it. That time there were no witness, and they didn't write it down. They made the transaction between only two of them. And the Prophet ﷺ, he went to bring money. Before he came, he saw the Arab man was trying to sell the horse to another man. And the Prophet said, man, I'll finish the transaction with you. The Prophet said, no, you didn't buy it. The Prophet said, I buy it. The man said, you didn't buy it. Then the man asked the Prophet, where is your witness? Where is your witness? And then there is a man, I think his name is Huzaifa, a Sahaba. He was not there when the Prophet made the transaction with the Arab man. He heard the Prophet talking to the man, so he came around. When he came, the man asked the Prophet, who is your witness? Then Huzaifa said, I'm the witness. Will you witness? Are you witness that the Prophet, I've shown this to the Prophet, and Huzaifa said, yes, I'm witness. I witness that the Prophet has bought it. So after the Prophet asked Huzaifa, why should you do this witness? He said, we used to believe in you in the messages that you take from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this thing that we are not going to trust in you. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam declared the witness of Huzaifa to be equal to witness of two men. Because Allah said, فَشْهِدُوا شَهِيدَيْنِ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ. But the Prophet took only this Huzaifa, his witness, and then he declared the transaction valid. In the beginning, he didn't make no witness, no written. Had it been it was obligatory, the Prophet will never ever make transaction without written down or this thing. So here you can know that it's not obligatory, it's mandu, it's good in order to avoid problem. May Allah give us understanding. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُونَ رَجُلَيْنِ. But if you didn't get two men who will bear that witness, فَرَجُلٌ وَامْرَأَةٌ. Then one man and two women. If you get one man and two women, the witness of one man represents that of two women. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had mentioned, he said, but the women مِمَّنْ تَرْضَوْنَ مِنَ الشُّهَدَاءِ, whose testimony is accepted among you. Women that you trust them through their religion, they are very pious women. The two of them represent one man. And Allah continues to say, أَنْ تَبِلَّ إِهْدَاهُمَا فَتُذُكِّرَ إِهْدَاهُمَا الْأُخْرَى. Should in case one of the women forget something, the other one will remind the other one. You see? وَلَا يَابَ الشُّهَدَاء مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. وَلَا يَابَ الشُّهَدَاء إِذَا مَا دُعُوا. And if people are called to come and make witness, they shouldn't refuse. If you are a brother Muslim and your brother wants to make some transaction with someone, say, come and witness, go and do it. Don't say you will not do. Okay? وَلَا يَابَ. Allahu Akbar. وَلَا تَسْأَمُوا أَن تَكْتُبُوهُ صَغِيرًا أَوْ كَبِيرًا. And do not think to trivial, do not feel it heavy, do not be tired, get tired of writing it down. Whether it is small money or big. Whether it's a small deal or big deal. This is what the ayah is saying. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues, he said, إِلَىٰ أَجَلِ, write it to the specific time. He said, ذَلِكُمْ, doing that, أَقْسَطُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ, it's more equitable in the sight of Allah, it's more just in the sight of Allah, it's more strong to avoid inconvenience and problem in the transaction. وَأَقْوَمْ لِلشَّهَادَةِ, and also it is likely to be very strong for evidence. Okay? وَأَدْنَى أَلَّا تَرْتَابُوا, and it is also the least to prevent problem, inconvenience, or to prevent doubt, Irtiyab is doubt. Now, and Allah said, إِلَّا أَن تَكُونَ تِجَارَةٌ حَاضِرَةٌ بَيْنَكُمْ, except in the case of a spot transaction between you, except the person is a person who used to do business with him already. For that one, no need of writing, no need of making witness. Even this also indicates that it's not obligatory. Something that is obligatory, then whether I know you or I don't know you, it will never remove it there. So here it is recommended that we write it down. And if there is trust, you know each other, you used to make transaction before, then you do it without no writing, no witness. وَلَا يُدَارَ كَاتِبٌ, am I right? فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ. Then if only there are transactions already, you people know each other, used to do business between you, then فَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ أَلَّا تَكْتُبُوهَا فَلَا عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ. There is no blame upon you, أَلَّا تَكْتُبُوهَا, if you didn't write it down. There will be no blame upon you if you didn't write it down. وَأَشْهِدُوا إِذَا تَبَايَعْتُمْ, but call people to witness if you are making a transaction, to avoid problem. وَإِن تَفْعَلُوا وَلَا يَدَارَ كَاتِبٌ وَلَا شَهِيدٌ. That let no harm be done to neither the scribe nor the witness. Don't cause any harm to the person who is writing, nor make harm to the person who is going to be witnessed. That's what Allah is telling us. And then he said, وَإِن تَفْعَلُوا, if you do what Allah has forbidden you to do, فَإِنَّهُ فُسُوقٌ بِكُمْ, يعني Khuruj an ta'a, it will let you deviate from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wattaqullah, fear Allah, wa yu'allimukum Allah. Allah teaches you what is good for you in this world and the hereafter. And that's why He brings out this rule for you. Wallahu bi kulli shay'in alim. Allah knows everything that we are doing. وَإِن كُنتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ
وإن كنتم على سفر ولم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوضة فإن أمن بعضكم بعضا فليؤدي الذي اؤتمن أمانته وليتق الله ربه ولا يكتم الشهادة ومن يكتمها فإنه آثم قلبه والله بما تعملون عليم.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continued and He said, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. But if it happened that you are on journey and you need to make this transaction, musafirin watadayantum, and you want to incur debt between you, among you, وَلَمْ تَجِدُوا كَاتِبًا, and you didn't get somebody who will write, no, you didn't get witness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say فَرِهَانٌ مَقْبُولًا. Then you need security deposit. This is what you call collateral, I think. Some place they call it collateral, some place they say mortgage, I don't know how they put it. You know, I want to take debt, okay, take this my car, if I bring your money, you give me my car back. Or collateral, maybe in 5 months, if I didn't pay you, you can sell my car. So here, you can see that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ, if you are in journey and you didn't get somebody to write, then you have to deposit something for security. And some ulama take this that collateral is only obligatory, only in journey. When you are not traveler, it doesn't go inside, because there are people who take the zahir of Quran. They always go like the zahiris, you know. But if you take the hadith that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he died, his armor was with a Jew as a collateral. He took food for his family, and that's why the Prophet was not a traveler. He did it while he was at home. So it means we can do rahan whether we are home or in journey. And rahan, there are rules and regulations in Islam concerning rahan. If I take money from you and I give you land, okay, that if I pay your money back, you give me my land back, can I use the land, cultivate it, and take crops? This is the question. I take cow from you, you give me cow, and take money. Say, if I bring my money, you give my cow back. Can I use the milk of the cow? Yeah. Some say no, some say yeah. Allahu Akbar. Yes. Allahu Akbar. You see, Islam is a kind of religion that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's nothing, they didn't leave anything to us. You see, if somebody come and give you cow and take money from you, then you, the owner of the cow, you will going to provide food for the cow. While the cow is there with that person don't have right to take the milk. But if that person is going to cultivate, that is, give the cow food, find food for the cow, maybe he will take the cow out to drink, and then he will take something to drink. You're happy. That's why it's normal. That's why it's normal. Although there are some ulama who prohibited it, they said if it's a land, you are not allowed to cultivate it. If you cultivate it, it has become riba. You take the thing, the person brings the money of the listing, then you still benefit from it. But if somebody bring horse like a collateral and you are feeding the horse, then you can climb the horse. But you are not feeding, you don't have the right to do that. And there are a lot of rules concerning this collateral. If we like, we can look in the books of fiqh. It has been elaborated there, very, very good, but whereby we can see it there. Farihan Makbola. And the security guarantee should be given at hand, you should give him. At times you can do maybe you are on journey. Okay, give me 1,000, I have cow at home. You know, I'm not with my cow on journey. The ayah says, Farihan Makbola. If you take it in Zahir, that is the collateral has to be hand to hand. You cannot say, give me, then if you go home, then you catch my cow. But it's accepted. If you come to a compromise on that, there's nothing wrong with that. May Allah give us understanding. فَإِنْ أَمِنَ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا. But if you want, some of you trust each other, فَلْيُؤَدِّ الَّذِي اؤْتُمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ. Then let the trustee fulfill his trust. You that they trusted you and give you the money, you give specific time, make sure you fulfill your trust. Allah says, وَمَنْ يَكْتُمْهَا فَإِنَّهُ آثِمٌ قَلْبُهُ وَلَا تَكْتُمُوا الشَّهَادَةَ. Am I right? Don't hide witness. When the transaction, when we were making the deal, you came and witnessed, but when problem came, we called you to come and witness and say, no, I will not do that. Allah says, وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ, anyone who will do that, فَإِنَّهُ آثِمٌ قَلْبُهُ. Then he has to know that he has sinned. Whoever conceals it is a sinner of heart. You know, not only his heart has sinned, but all the body has sinned. They use the heart because it is the place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always used to judge man. May Allah give us understanding. Because the Prophet said, وَإِنَّ فِي الْجَسَدِ الْمُضْغَةَ. There's a flesh in body. Whenever it is clean, all the body is clean. Whenever it's polluted or spoiled, all the body becomes polluted. Allah wa hiya al-qalb. And that is the heart. So, وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ عَلِيمٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows anything that you are doing. If you didn't make just in it, Allah knows. If you make just, Allah knows. Now.
لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوه يحاسبكم به الله فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير.
ولله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. لله is خبر مقدم. ما في السماوات وما في الأرض is مبتدا مؤخر. Okay, so we say ما في السماوات والأرض, and all the things that are in the heavens and earth, lillah, belongs to Allah. Everything that is in heavens and earth belongs to Allah. And I'm sure any sound person, when you have something, you know about the person betting. Am I right? Because as you are sitting, I'm sure you know the quantity of money you have in your pocket. Maybe some coins can beat you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, since He said, to Him belongs all what is in the heavens and the earth, there is nothing that is in this world and metaphysics that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't know. Anything. He is our creator, milkan, wa tadbiran, wa rizqan. We are His possession. He is controlling us. And He turns us as He like. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continued and He said, وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ out of 4. If you disclose what is in your heart, if you bring it out, you disclose it, or you close it, if you misconceal it, or conceal it, يَعْلَمُ اللَّهُ. Allah knows it. يُحَاسِبْكُمْ بِهِ اللَّهُ. يُحَاسِبْكُمْ بِهِ اللَّهُ. Allah will judge you on it. According to Imam Ahmad, he narrated in the Musnad through Abi Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala, he said, when this ayah was revealed, لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, the Sahaba, they went to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When they reached the Prophet, they all knelt down. اشتد ذلك على أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فأتوا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حتى جثوا على الركب. They came to the Prophet and they knelt down on their knees. وقالوا يا رسول الله, they said, O Messenger of Allah, كلفنا من الأعمال ما نطيق. We have been commanded to do some kind of work that we can do, like salat, like siyam, like jihad fi sabilillah, like sadaqah. We can do it. وَقَدْ أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ هَذِهِ الْآيَةِ. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bring this ayah to you. وَلَا نُطِيقُهَا. We cannot. If Allah is going to judge us just because of what we think in our heart, then we are finished. So the Sahaba, they see it as a problem and they went to the Prophet, they complained. The Sahaba confused about the meaning because there are difference between hadith al-nafs or khawatir and also al-azm. There is difference between waswas, okay, that shaitan come in you and play in you in your heart and your mind. There's difference between that and between something that you make the intention to do. There's difference. Okay? So when the Sahaba, they told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet said, أتريدون أن تقولوا كما قال أهل الكتابين من قبلكم سمعنا وعصينا? You want to say exactly what the people of the book who came before you said when Musa gave them injunction? They say we hear but we disobey. You want to do that? قالوا لا. And the Sahaba said no. And the Prophet said, قولوا سمعنا وأطعنا. And the Sahaba, they opened their mouth. They said, سمعنا وأطعنا. Then Malaika Jibril came and said, آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون. They said it. And when they said it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent another verse to approve what they said. Look the beauty of Quran here. So here, if you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge us according to our heart, what we think in our heart, my brothers, we are finished. We are finished. According to the ulama, some said, it was abrogated by Allah, but according to majority of the ulama, muhakkikun, they said this muhasaba, this judgment is different from intention. Khawatir an-nafsiyya, or waswas of shaitan, whereby a person don't have the intention to do, there will be no sin on that. According to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Sahihain, through Abi Hurairah, he said, قال تعالى, in Hadith al-Qudsi, he said, إذا هم عبدي بسيئة فلا تكتبوها عليه. Allah told the angels, if my servant make the intention to do bad, don't write it. فإذا عملها فاكتبوه سيئة. And when he do it, write one sin. وإن هم بحسنة, but if he made the intention to do good deeds, فلم يعملها, and he didn't do it, فاكتبوه حسنة, write one ajr for him. And when فإن عملها, when he do it, فاكتبوه عشرة, write it the ajr 10 times. My brother, if you look, من جاء بالحسنة فله عشر أمثالها. Allahu Akbar. If you do one good, they give you 10. If you do one sin, they write one for you. Then they come Qiyamah. They put your 1-1 and your 1-10-10 on scale. And then the 1-1 overcome the 10-10. La ilaha illallah. I don't know if people understand what I'm saying. Man jaa bil hasana falahu ashru amthaluha. If you do good, they write you 10 ajr. If you do sin, they write 1. Then they bring wail liman رجح أو غلب سيئاته حسناته. إذا كان حسنا يكتب 10 مرات والسيئة مرة. Then they come and put them on the scale. Then the 1-1 become more than a 10-10. What does it mean? It means if you make one good, the person make more than what he loved. So you can see how Allah loves us. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna Allah tajawaza an ummati ma waswasat bihi suruha." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forgiven what used to come in our heart. Somebody used to stand at Shaitan come and say, "Who created you?" He said, "Allah." And he said, "Allah." He said, "Who created Allah?" Shaitan. For this one, man, you don't have control on it. That Sahaba ja'u nasu min ashab Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fasa'aluhu. Some people came to the Prophet and they asked him, إنا نجد في أنفسنا ما يتعاظم أحدنا أن يتكلم به. We used to feel something in our heart that would feel it very difficult to say it. You know, like who created you? So this kind of like there is no, somebody say you used to feel like there is no Allah. Say A'udhu Billah. Allah is there. It is you that you are not there. And the Prophet asked the Sahaba, وَجَدْتُمُوهُ, do you used to have this feeling in you? قالوا نعم. And the Sahaba said, yes, we used to get it. قال ذاك صريح الإيمان. And the Prophet said, that is pure Iman. At-Takbir. You know, Shaitan, according to Hadith al-Qudsi, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was telling something that Shaitan said, لا أبره أغوين بني آدم ما دامت الروح فيهم. I will continue misleading the children of Adam as far as there is soul in them. I will try to mislead them. And Allah give him answer. And Allah said, إِذَنْ لَا أَبْرَحْ أَكْفِرْ لَهُمْ مَا دَامَ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. Me too, I will never stop forgiving them as far as they are seeking for forgiveness. So it's a promise. That's why you can see here that anything that you think, there are two types of khawatir. If shaitan makes what was in your heart and you didn't make the intention to do, for that one, Allah write ajr for you. There's ayah in the Quran. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا إِذَا مَسَّهُمْ طَائِفٌ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ تَذَكَّرُوا فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْصِرُونَ. Those who have taqwa, whenever shaitan come and make this type of waswas in them, shaitan says, go and steal. He will ask himself, I will not go. Go and kill this man, I will not go. Go and make zina, I will not go. Go and do bad, I will not go. Those with taqwa, anytime if shaitan tries to convince them, they understand, they come back to their senses and they fight and make istighfar. For that one, I will not forgive you. But if shaitan brings the waswas, you have to go and kill this man. Then you make intention, I will kill him. You went and bought gun. Tomorrow early in the morning, I will go and attack him at his house and kill him. And you slept, then you didn't wake up, you die. Kiyama, you will wake up as a killer. Yes, for this one, you wake up as a killer. This is what we call azm. Because the thing that prevented you from executing your aim was Allah. Had it been rich in the morning, you go and do it. You ask nas ala to Ali. Although the hadith say if he didn't do it, but this one you right, because he had intention. But as Satan said, go and kill this man, then he reflected, he came back to himself, I will not do. He said, the right answer for him. But only just was comes to you, and then you didn't make any intention on that, Allah will not catch you with that. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to us. He said, to Allah belongs to what is in the heavens and the earth. Am I right? If you disclose what is in you, or you close it, if you bring it out or you hide it, Allah will judge you. And Allah will forgive whom He will. He can also punish whom He will. Now,
آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير.
As I said, the Sahaba, they went and knelt down in the presence of the Prophet. They said, for this one we cannot do it. The Prophet said, you want to say just like the way those who came before you said, Sami'na wa asayna? And they say, no, the Prophet said, then you have to say, Sami'na wa ata'ana. And the Sahaba, they say it, and Allah revealed this ayah, Amana Rasul, the Prophet Muhammad. Amana, he believed, he have believed. Bima unzila ilayhi. We should look the beauty of Quran. In some Quran, it's like this. Amana Rasul bima unzila ilayhi min rabbihi wal mu'minun. Waqaf. Okay? Some Qur'an, they write that they put sign of standing. Then they start, Kullun amana billah. In some Quran too, you see it. Amana Rasul bima unzila ilayhi min rabbihi. Then waqaf can here. Then wal mu'minuna kullun. Let's show the difference. Some ulama, they see that the iman, the belief of Rasulullah, and the belief of the believers is not the same. Because the iman is classes. Some people take the wa. Amana Rasul bima unzila ilayhi min rabbihi. The wal mu'minun. The wa, if you take it to be out of, because we have out of, we also have istisnaf. Istisnaf is a word that comes to stand another new sentence. And out of is conjunction. You know conjunction in grammar. That we use to join sentence that is in front with the one that is back. So if you say Amana Rasul, the messenger Rasul believe bima unzila ilayhi, with what has been revealed to him in Rabbihi, then you stop here, then it means the iman of the Prophet can never be compared with that of the believers. Because the iman of the Prophet is iman al-mushahada. Iman al-mushahada. Iman of ayn al-yaqeen. Ayn al-yaqeen. It's iman of, you can say even haqqul yaqeen. Because There's a place Allah say, Ma kadab al-fuad ala mara. Am I right? Fa'awha ila abdihi ma awha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he made some wine to the Prophet. He didn't tell you anything. That's the secret between he and him. Nobody knows that one. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw Jibril, and Jibril said, Iqra. Am I right? The Sahaba didn't see. Although there's a time Jibril came, he was wearing white cloth, and the Sahaba see him in a man shape. But the Prophet saw the shape of Jibril, the shape that Allah created with him. The Sahaba didn't see that. So the Iman of the Prophet is not the same like our Iman. You know there's hadith, the Prophet said, Wallahi law ta'lamuna ma a'lam, labakaytum kathira wa ladahiktum kareera. He said, Wallahi, I didn't believe you know what I know. You should have cried a lot and laughed little. So it means the Prophet, what he knows, we don't know that one. So the Iman of the believers and that of the Prophet, it cannot be the same. If you take the word to be enough, then we say, well, mu'minun kullun amana billah, and all the believers to believe in Allah. But if you take it, amana rasulu bima unzila ilayhi min rabbihi wal mu'minun, then you stop here, then it means the mu'minin, they didn't see Jibril, am I right? They didn't see Jibril, but they see Rasulullah at Takbir. And Rasulullah saw Jibril. So them to the Mushahada is seeing the Prophet. I don't know if I'm clear here. We didn't see the Prophet. So that's why we to our Iman and that of the Sahaba will not be the same. لو أنفق أحدكم ذهب مثل أحد ذهبا لن يبلغ نصف سارع أحد. That's what Hadith said. If people spend sadaqah of gold like the mountain of Uhud, it will not be equal of one sa'i that the Sahaba gives sadaqah. This is what the Prophet said. كل آمن بالله. All of them, they believe in Allah. وملائكته. They believe in the angels of Allah. وكتبه. They believe in the books of Allah. ورسله. They believe in the messengers of Allah. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. They don't make any distinction between none of the prophets or the messengers. وقالوا, and they said, سمعنا وأطعنا. They obey the prophet, and they said what the prophet said, قولوا سمعنا وأطعنا. They repeated, because of that Allah said, كل آمن بالله. So here, look something. How many is the pillars of Islam? The pillars of Iman. The pillars of Islam is Arkan Islam Khamsa. Am I right? Arkan Islam Khamsa. Then what is Arkan Iman? 6, correct? So in this ayah, how many were here? Huh? You are not. You don't have hope. You are not sure. For you say 5. You don't even open your mouth.
He's sitting in front of you.
Okay. Are you sure? Only 5 is here. Can you count it for me?
Yeah.
Somebody to say 4. Can you count it? This is a very important lesson. We have to capture it here.
The angels.
The
books.
The
The messengers. And also the fourth one.
What is the fourth
Belief
one?
in Allah.
Believe in Allah. So that's what no Iman again is in the ayah, the whole ayah. It meant to Yawm al-Akhir. What will the Iman bil-Qadr khayrihi wa sharrihi? Is in this ayah this too?
No,
It's inside.
MashaAllah.
It's inside.
It continues. It continues.
Allahu Akbar. Let's bring them out.
Look.
Allah said, Amana Rasul ma unzila ilayhi min rabbihi wal mu'minun. Kullun amana billahi. This is 1. Wa malaikati. 2. Wa kutubi. 3. Wa rusuli. 4. La nufarriqu bayna ahadin min rusul wa qalu sami'na wa ata'na yawm al-akhir. We have got how many? 5. All the arkan al-iman is here. And that is why Allah said, Amana Rasul wal mu'minun. That's why you call them to be believers, because all the places here. If all the places happen not to be here, Allah will not call them mu'minin. All the 6 is here. Now we have 5. Am I right? Then he said what? لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا am I right? لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah doesn't burden any soul except what it can. لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Okay? Then He said, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا. Oh Allah, don't hold us responsible if we forget or make mistake. The forget show the qadr that in the life of man, something used to happen to man that is not by his will, but it's something that has been predestined. Like to forget. It's something natural. It's not by you that you make it forget. It's something that Allah has made it qadr, that man must forget. So here qadr come here. This type of this is not clear. You have to think deeply before you. I think you catch the point. So here we have got all the 6 pillars of Iman here. Iman billah. Who is Allah? Number one, let's come back. Allah, his description in Quran, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul. If you go to Surah Al-Fatiha, you know who Allah is. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It meant Allah and Alameen. So Allah is the creator of the creature. So it's 2 things. Anything that is not Allah is a creature. Okay? And any creature cannot be Allah. So here you know it's clear. Because there is nothing in this world that has no doer. MashaAllah, the white jalabiya my brother Alonso is wearing was sold by a tailor. And the cloth was made, produced by somebody. You see, it didn't that he woke up and then he got the cloth on his body. Impossible. It was made by somebody. The same thing, this world that in which we are living. It was created by somebody. The world cannot come into being. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. But something rather comes from something. Am I right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source, is the creator who we deserve to worship. And who are malaika? Malaika, they are, most of people, if you ask them who are malaika, they give different definition. They are the creatures of Allah, we know. And Allah created them before he created even human being. Allah created angels before he created, because if you know, Khalifa. That time he hasn't created Adam, but he asked the angels that I'm going to bring my deputy on earth. Am I right? So that means the creation of the angels was there before man. This is first point. And angels, they are Rasulullah. They are messengers of Allah. Ja'ilul malaikatu rusulan. Am I right? Uli ajniha. He said, Masna wa thubata. That's what Allah said. He made angels to be messengers. So all the angels of Allah, there is no any malaika that is not a messenger. They are all messengers. Allahu Akbar. And another point, what did Allah create angels with them? Allah created angels with nur, with light. What nur? What light is that? Huh? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the angels with the light of Al-Arsh. Allazina yusabbihuna hawla Al-Arsh. And that's how you see them. Am I right? So all these things, we have to know about angels. And the best angels, they are the Hamalatul Arsh. Those angels that are holding the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some ulama used to say they are 8, because the ayah say, وَيَحْمِلْ عَرْشَ رَبِّكَ فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ ثَمَانِيَةٌ. Some ulama say, no, that's not the meaning. It means, Yawm al-Qiyamah, it is the 8 that will bring the Arsh to the Mallam, to where Allah will judge. Some ulama say, no. Every one of these 8 has a lot of, there are 8 commanders, like, you know, like a military, we have units, no? Like military unit. One unit, there's a general who controls them. You can find more than thousands of troops under him. If you go to another unit, you see another general. So they say, that is, they are the generals, the leaders of that. That doesn't mean that it is only 8, this is Aqwan. But the Quran said 8 angels are holding the Arsh. We stand there, I take it like that. May Allah give us understanding. And this things, we have to believe in angels. Don't say because I didn't see them, so I will believe. Not anything that you have to see before you believe. There are so many things. All the creatures that Allah do, we are treated. Some we can see them with our eye, like human being, like the trees, like the moon, like the sun. We can see with our eye. And there are some too we cannot. Some we can see and they are tangible. Okay, I can see and touch you. Some too, they exist, but they are not tangible. They exist, but you cannot touch them, like air. If air blows you just now, you feel it. But if I tell you to catch it, can you catch the air? Although the scientists now, they are catching the wind and generate electricity with it. Am I right? That's what they are saying. You know? So all these things, not everything that you exist that you see. There are so many things that you cannot see. So may Allah give us understand. Like disease, like sickness. Sickness in body, the doctors cannot see it. They only see by symptoms. They only detect the sickness by symptoms. The sign, if the eye is yellow, it means he has fever. Okay? If the person is shitting too much, say he has cholera. But the cholera, how is the cholera? Is it a big, or is it small, or it's yellow, or it's white? Or so the doctors always judge by symptoms, by sign. They detect disease by sign. The disease exists, but you cannot see it. You only judge the disease by the sign. So when do we judge Allah with the creation? Since there is moon, just like the doctor, he look the symptom, you know the disease. We do we see the moon, we look the you, you look me, we look the angel, you know Allah exists. This is logic. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues wa kutubi. They believe in all the books of Allah. Wa rusuli, in the messengers of Allah. La nufarriqu bayna ahadin min rusuli. We don't make distinction difference. I will not say I believe in Muhammad and that I don't believe that Isa is a messenger of Allah. If you say that, you are not a Muslim. May Allah give us understanding. That is why you consider a Muslim is the one who has a complete iman. Samina wa ata'na, we hear and we follow. We hear and we listen and we obey. Look something. Allah in his hikmah and in his favor and bounty, he makes things that will take us to Al-Jannah free. Things that will take us to hell, you have to pay for it. At-takbir. If you go to discotheque, before you enter, you have to pay money. Am I right? If you come to masjid, you enter, you don't pay money. But here people are like, if you go to discotheque, like film, cinema, you see line, long line. They are going to enter theater. And they are going to buy sin for themselves with their money. Anything that will take to hell, Jahannam is more expensive than Al-Jannah. Al-Jannah is free. You sit here, you say Subhanallah, 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 you get a lot of ajr. But if you want to dance, you have to go to disco. Am I right? That is why Allah said, Laha ma kasabat wa alayha ma ktasabat. Kasabat is something that for you. Something that belongs to you. That you have control upon. Like let me say, if you have ajr, it's like you have money. The money is for you. But Allah is maktasabat, you start, which means person used to look for something that will give him that will destroy him. You start with maktasabat. Because sin is a burden. And anybody, before you sin, you have to strive for it. If somebody has to drink alcohol, he has to walk and go to where they are selling it. And use his money to buy. Look at all this thing. You see how Jahannam is expensive? And still people are buying it. Al-Jannah is free, people don't like it. You see? If somebody want to go and make zina, he sit and plan for it. Or he see a woman, he like it. He used to plan for the woman. I even once saw somebody sitting making zikr with a photo of some lady in front of me. I said, what are you doing? I said, you are wasting your time, buddy. If you need a woman, go to her straight and talk to her. Why you sit here with photo? You see? May Allah give us understanding. So, people used to suffer to get Jahannam. Al-Jannah, Allah give you free and still people don't like. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah doesn't burden any soul except what, or Allah doesn't burden a soul with what is beyond its capacity. Okay? Laha ma kasabat. To it, belong the ajr, the good deed that he has. Wa alayhi ma kasabat. And the bad things to that will be against him. Allah Akbar. Rabbana la tu'akhizna. Oh, our Lord. Now, oh our Lord, don't condemn us in the sin if we forget our akhtana or make mistake. Rabbana wa la tahmil alayna isra. Oh our Lord, don't burden us. Don't put us something that will be burden upon us. Kama hamaltu ala alladhina min qablina. Just like the way we put it on those who came before us. Like the children of Israel, if they sin, if they make, let me say, if urine touch their body, they have to scratch it with something till blood comes. Like the way they disobey Musa, they pray for Allah to forgive them for Allah said they should kill themselves. Alright, but this Ummah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easy for us. Allahu Akbar. Rabbana la tuhammilna ma la taqata lana bi. Oh Allah, don't hold us responsible for something that we cannot do. It's above our capacity. Wa'fu anna. Pardon us, waghfir lana, and forgive us, warhamna, and have mercy upon us. فَانْصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ, and help us upon the people who are disbelievers. May Allah give us understanding. Some angel came to the Prophet, and he told the Prophet, Ya Muhammad, Ya Rasulullah, Allah has given you two things. He hasn't given anybody. And the Prophet asked, what is that? And he said, Surah Al-Fatiha wa Khawatim Baqara. He said, Surah Al-Fatiha and the last chapters of Baqara. It was given to only Prophet Muhammad. It was not given to any prophet. And there's also hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Man qara'a akhir al-Baqarah fi layla kafatah. Anybody who recites the last verses of Surah Al-Baqarah in a night, it suffices for him. It suffices for us. Some ulama say it suffices for Qiyamul Layl. Okay? Some ulama to say no, it suffices to fight shaitan for him in that night. May Allah give us understanding. So, this dua, I think we'll stop here. And this ayah, when it was revealed, when the Sahaba started making the dua, they said, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. Allah say fa'alt. Anything they said, Allah say fa'alt. I've given you. Anything they said, Allah say fa'alt. So we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah should make us afwa and take our fasting for us and forgive us our sins and take all our problems. Those who are not well, may Allah cure them. Those who are looking for work, may Allah give them work. Those who are looking for women to marry, good women, may Allah give them good women. Those who have children here, may Allah bless their children. Also those who have children in Africa, may Allah bless all the children. Those who are in problem, may Allah remove them inside. Those who are looking for work, those who are looking for paper, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know all our problems. Those our parents who have passed away, may Allah forgive them. Those who are with us, may Allah give them long life and prosperity. May Allah prevent us, may Allah bring us together. May Allah bring us together. May Allah bring us together. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He should give us long lives to see more Ramadan in healthy condition and with money, so that we can worship Allah with the worship. There is no money at times. The worship is, now if I say Fi sabilillah, for example, if you don't have money, how can you give? If I say you should go to Hajj, Mallam say you like money, so you cannot.
Make the prayers, you didn't bring money inside.
May Allah give us money. Allahu Akbar. I think,